Hi, this is Mr. Nazarian. Our learning objective: I can multiply decimals to the hundredth using what I have learned about place value. It's 5th grade standard, NBT 7. Okay, so today what we're really going to focus on is not so much making sure that we're multiplying the numbers correctly. What we really want to focus on, what is the difference now with multiplying whole numbers and multiplying with decimals. So I'm going to show you how we decide where the decimal place will be when we're multiplying with decimals. So this is what it looks like. So we have 2 times 3.48, or 3 times 3 and 48 hundredths. So I've already given you here the digits that we'll end up with for our product, but the tricky part here is, where does the decimal place go? And so the way to do that is we look at each of our factors, and we decide how many, or recognize how many digits are there to the right of the decimal point for each factor. So for this factor here of 2, we can see there are no decimals to the right of the decimal point because we just have a whole number here. So none over here, right? And then I'll even write that down here. How many digits are to the right of a decimal point? 0 on this side. And then for this factor, 3.48, here's the decimal point, there are 2 digits to the right of the decimal point. So we have 2 for this. So all together, with both of these factors, we have 2 digits to the right of the decimal point. So the thing to remember when we're multiplying and we're trying to figure out for our product how many decimal places or digits to the right of the decimal point there are, it's going to be the total of how many digits there were to the right of the decimal place for both factors. So all together here we have 2, so that means there should be 2 digits to the right of the decimal point here. So if I start on this side and go 1, 2, right, I put a decimal point right here, there are now 2 digits to the right of the decimal point for the product as well. So that means that 2 times 3 and 48 hundredths is equal to 6 and 96 hundredths. Let's look at the next one. Do the same process. So same thing. We don't need to worry about what digits we're going to end up with. I already put that down here. But we got to figure out where's the decimal point going to be placed. So again, we look at each of these factors and say, how many digits how many digits are there to the right of the decimal point? So for this factor we have 1, right? Because we have a digit in the 10th place. And for this factor we have 2, because we have a digit in the 10th place and a digit in the 100th place. So we have 1, 2, 3 total digits to the right of the decimal place. So for the product, that's what we're going to need. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 in from the right. And that's going to, so we're going to put that decimal point there. That's going to give us 3 digits to the right of the decimal point, which is how much the total is of both of these factors. So 5.6 times 2.31 is going to give us 12.936, or 12 and 936 thousandths. Last one. Okay, so same practice here. So here for 4.57, I have 2 digits to the right of the decimal point. And then for this factor, 1.96, I have 2 digits to the right of the decimal point, which means that my product is going to have the total of both of those factors. So 2 and 2 is 4. So our product here should have how many digits to the right of the decimal point? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should be placed right there. And just to double check to make sure, I've got 4 digits to the right of the decimal point. And then for my factors, remember I have 2 to the right and 2 to the right, which is a total of 4. So that means this is the correct answer. All right, so we'll be working on placement on the decimal point when multiplying decimals tomorrow. See you then.